Hey Matt, thank you for coming in, man. I had fun. Um, Again, not like a huge glaring issue. Just kind of a lot of little tightnesses, little spots that I think have just kind of crept up, and maybe a couple muscle groups that are just a little neglected. But again, long term, I don't see this being a huge thing. And what I love about addressing it now, but before it becomes that, is I think we're avoiding bigger and badder problems down the road. So this will be good to get ahead of this. What I have here is I got 4 moves. I want you to try them all with kind of equal enthusiasm and frequency. Again, you cannot do these enough, in my opinion. These are low level, so you don't need to count. You don't need to do them for a certain amount of reps or time. Just do them until either you're sick of them or until the muscle that you're addressing is fatigued, and then you rest it a little while and you do it again. Honestly, some of these, just like the shoulder blade stretches, I don't see why you can't do a dozen times a day. It just kind of, at a certain point, it's just more of just the awareness and to sneak them in whenever you can, even if you got 10 seconds to kill. So no particular order. Seated scapular stretch. So this was, here, I'm gonna back up a touch. You can do this anywhere and everywhere, man. Grab the outside of your foot, and then from here you lean back. That's just a great shoulder blade stretch in general. From here, again, I don't like just sitting still if I can help it, so I like, adding a turn. I like arching my back. I like maybe reaching my arm overhead or behind. Just something I can do to intensify that stretch a little bit. Hitting both sides, by playing around with those movements and those angles, like right now, I just found one that's pretty tight on me, and that's gonna be the one I hang out with for a little while. But play around. The other foot, it's a great, again, we're crossing midline, and I want most of what you do in here to kind of be in this plane here. We don't need to stretch too high, we don't need to stretch too low. This right here is where you're having all your issues. So we want to keep your hands kind of in this plane here, about chest high. Can't do that one enough. The upper trap stretch, so you were real tight, both traps. Again, could get into stress, could get into posture work, all that sort of things. But if we're just trying to get a muscle relaxed, I like pulling your ear to your shoulder. It's a good starting point. Now you were miles away, man. You were about here, and just really tighten that whole trap. So we got to give that a little bit extra nudge comfortably. This is now kind of relaxed. And then I like getting some rotation in with the other arm. Big reaches, right? We're talking about not having a lot of oomph on that baseball throw. I think it's maybe a little bit of a neglected rotator cuff. So big rotating back, big rotating down. The rotation is it's strengthening because your muscles are on and active. But let's not be silly. There's not enough power here to really call this a strengthening move. So it is an active stretch. Boom. Other side, flip it. Again, full range. So we're trying to dissociate the neck and the shoulder. Sometimes those guys kind of work one and the same when we really want them to be able to be very independent and separate of each other. Because then every time your neck gets tight, then your shoulder gets tight, then your shoulder blade gets tight. This is going to be that cycle. We want to be able to have a tight neck and still have everything else doing just great. That one's easy enough. The one on the wall, you kind of knew this one already, but this was tough. Hand behind the back. The higher it is, the tougher it is. So I'd start belt line, or maybe even just kind of right at your butt cheeks. And then you are just pushing yourself off the wall. These are push-ups, one-handed, slow and steady. Good posture if you can. You notice as you get fatigued, you'll start to kind of round and do it like that. Try to stay up tall. And that's it. It's harder than it looks for everybody. This one's probably more of a just do it to fatigue and get out. If you only want to hit that one a couple times a day, I totally get that one, because that's probably the hardest strength we're doing out of any of these. And then we found this last stretch so similar to the seated where you grab your foot one, but I think if you can also find this and do it somewhere where you have a bar or something to hold on to, same idea. You're still leaning back and arching your back and turning a little bit, but you're just going to be able to find so much room and so much space in here that feels good and a good stretch and real tight. So we're looking to, you can kind of feel that. You might feel here. We arch our back a little bit. You might get a little bit more of that midline where we were doing some work today. So any of these are good, but the whole thing is you're not doing that overhead stretch you've been doing. You don't need to stretch in that angle, as far as I'm concerned, anytime soon until you get this one loose. This one is 10 times looser, 10 times tighter than anything you're doing overhead. So I'm okay doing overhead work and stretching and hanging from a bar and doing all that bar stuff and the foam rolling and all that, but you're missing this range. Arm across with a good stretch. I'd say a bonus one, if you want it, is just simply, we talked about that, activating that serratus muscle. I don't want to get it too angry, but you'll notice when you were about 2 inches away from the wall, you know, if you get to the wall, back off about 2 inches, and just that extra reach to tap the wall, that is activating that serratus muscle. Bonus points, even a little bit higher, really gets it going. And if you do that right arm versus left arm, and there's still that big difference on that left one, I'd do some reps there. I wouldn't beat it up too much, but I would definitely teach that muscle how to turn on and off, because it's a little behind. Again, do these throughout the day, no rep limit whenever you can, but I want to put a little special emphasis on doing at least a good round at night. That, you know, especially, I wouldn't doubt if the traps are really kicking in at night. So this one, it's probably uber important to do at night. That might bring you, the tighter you are before bed, the tighter you're going to be after bed. So that might help with some of that morning stiffness. But yeah, I think today's hopefully the hands-on stuff really helped you. I thought we found some good spots. Today's just a really good trial and error, if you ask me. And then next time, report back. Try to be hyper aware of what you're feeling, when you're feeling it, where you're feeling it, and then we can dive in a little more. And I'm hoping next time is we have a little bit more of what your long-term list should look like. And we can also talk a little bit more about the rows and the lat pulls and the push-ups, and kind of maybe if a lot of what we're finding here, if we can just go ahead and throw that into your weight routine, it's less you got to worry about. So that's my goal for next time. Obviously, something comes up between now and then, let me know, but we're off to a good start. Thanks, brother. Bye.